departure in the play standard following a at first leg in that they should include put the tie to caught. Wenger's men looked the superior party for lot of the 90 protocol. But one mistake in focus on the verge of part period permitted Diego Costa to score the just purpose of the overnight, setting Atleti via to the Europa League definitive in a tight 2-1 total gain. "We sense above the 2 legs down there was quite to go via," Wenger said BT Kind of Sports following the matchstick. "If you see at the 2 games, we didn't supervise the essential moments, so we conceded a silly purpose in 1 min to go on the resist attack. They are urgent moments in a play of how growth. They play in a bit of terror, and one day they were 1-0 up, they had a slight pillow. How purpose was completely urgent this evening. And on not creature capable to raise a Europe prize as Stockpile officer, a noticeably emotion." Wenger told, "He's really sorrowful, really sorrowful. I'm really sad this evening, but sadly our play is love how. It can be really brutal, it can be tight, but the affliction is really powerful this evening." To achieve the definitive, Stockpile would include to do which some newcomer crew at the Wanda Metropolitano had made in the recent 3 and apart months, score a purpose. Atletico had not conceded in their recent 11 household games and had just conceded 9 goals in their brilliant new arena all time of year, 6 of such upcoming of crosses. It was a week that Stockpile often operated in the at first foot, in Alexander Lacazette ultimately receive his purpose in a title of a supply out broad. It was a tactics Stockpile once again rotated to in Madrid, although previous crosses in promise official position of Danny Welbeck and Hector Bellerin lacked any quality assurance. Else previous crucifix, beaten through the person of purpose by Lacazette following nice act of Mesut Ozil, proven the previous focus of Atletico's behind link. The at first actual discovery came following 6 protocol as Diego Costa latching on a via dribble and loaded via a weak problem by Nacho Monreal, but his shooting was distorted terribly broad in Antoine Griezmann superior located in front line of purpose. Stockpile were later dealt a significant strike as skipper Laurent Koscielny was stretchered off in throw following tortuous his ankle bone uncomfortably in the sod. It was after affirmed how he had incurred a torn Achilles tendon, and his hopes of game in which would certainly include been his recent Planet Bowl. His replace Callum Chambers, nearly a 10 years Koscielny's younger, stipulated far less than Europe expertise but slotted smoothly in Stockpile's behind link, corralling Costa and Griezmann cozily. The Discovery 25 protocol were strained and nerve, the 2 ex-heavy champions previously training, but the play came to lifetime quickly following as Stockpile began to affect and credibility on transactions. Lacazette was play via on purpose, but a impoverished other concern saw the dribble get off of him, while he very should include proven January Oblak in the Atleti purpose. Ozil drilled the pursue up behind in the box wherever Aaron Ramsey was wait to rotate the dribble household, but Diego got in, as he has made on innumerable occasions through his career, put his flesh in the way to unit the dribble. As the at first part drew to a shut down, there was a tangible disappointment increasing within the Wanda of both of Atletico's fans and players, who maybe thick felt amazed they weren't possessing things go their path. Gabi and Costa in special were constantly remonstrating in Judge Gianluca Rocchi, time 2 Griezmann misses, the other a hard opportunity following a smart rotate, were met in the audio of 60,000 concurrent groans. But fair as the at first part thick felt love it was petering of, Stockpile found themselves a purpose over in less than rather than 60 seconds of shutdown period left. Chambers' defense title was selected up in center field by Griezmann and the Frenchman slotted a dribble via to Costa, loose by the dream Bellerin, who raised it above David Ospina. Diego Simeone cut a single drawing up in the execution boxes following his send-off in the at first foot, inflated his fists wild as the otherwise of the Wanda Metropolitano eventually came to lifetime. Costa, so frequently the calamity of Stockpile for his period in a Chelsea jacket, had one day once again refundable to torment Wenger in his for-purpose in 7 games versus the Gunners. To the end of the at first part, Stockpile were possessing slight joy as they began offensive via Atletico's overloaded center. Wenger's part-time crusade will include allocated as lot, as Stockpile once again began focus on Atleti's brittle broad areas while the sides founded for the restarting. Welbeck's step and Lacazette's smart motion were hauling Atletico's defense separately, and just a cynic gear by Diego Godin on the X prevented a hazardous resist attack. As the watch ticked history the time mark, Stockpile, via Ozil's deception downward the leftward, began creation chances at will. It felt love a key time, now or never for Wenger in his definitive shooting at a Europe prize. It was now 17 and apart several hours, with Atletico recent conceded a purpose at household, although they were maybe now looking more than potential rather than always to let one in. Atletico did, yet, go on mustering chances of their own on the breakdown. Costa went shut at first, up fantastic job of the Spanish set up Griezmann, but Chambers got through to do a magnificent unit. In true Stockpile's offensive risk waned significantly as the part wore on, maybe demoralized in the expertise their opportunity to standard the matchstick had been and lost. It seemed fit, later, how a tie-in that Stockpile had flattered to cheat for 180 protocol, but ultimately came up brief in, written the end for Wenger in Europe. At the complete period whistling, Wenger, love largest of his players, was crouched, downcast, on his haunches as Atletico's players began to commemorate wild in front line of their fans. It will be else Europe definitive for Madrid's other clubhouse, their 5-9er year, wherever they will encounter Marseille on May 16 in Lyon.